look, I'm dude who lives in the second least populated state in the country, in the least populated corner of the country, in a town of 700 people. I'm often by myself most of the day. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I was working from home. Now I still work from home. I don't see a lot of people. Generally we try to like socially distance. And so because of all of those things, I'm pretty much alone a lot.
Yeah.
And so speaking to the camera matters. I talk to my animals all the time. That matters. And it's like in that talking, that's where things come out for sure.
You said you generally like to social distance. Is that because of the pandemic, or is that because this is your personality?
Yes.
I guess that means both.
I mean, this is one of those things, right? So my wife, she's a nurse practitioner, and she has had the most difficult 2 years watching what she's had to work with. Because she was working in an express care clinic, then she moved over actually just to like a COVID screening center. That's what she was doing. Now she works in the emergency room of one of the local hospitals, and she's got PTSD from the last 2 years and how hard her job has become and the struggles of the pandemic. So yeah, like we both believe it's like, yeah, we should probably keep it to a minimum and as much you can. And I see the impact that has. And so that has kept us much more distanced. But at the same time, I'm pretty antisocial. I'm pretty much a homebody. And so it's been a good excuse.
So she's experiencing this in the hospital. When you say this sense of feeling like maybe a sense of overwhelm or tragedy there, you're talking about cases, or are you talking about the new order of doing things?
I think cases in certain specific situations. I think the workload and the volume and the stress and just how like our hospital infrastructure is just not equipped to deal with a lot of that right now. Like a lot of those things.
So maybe there's not enough workers either? Is she facing some of that?
Yeah, I mean, understaffed for sure. She's having to work another 12-hour shift like that. Yeah, that
but then there's a lot of ill cases coming through.
Yeah.
Because I guess she would be the one that would see that. Mm-hmm. Where regular people don't necessarily see that.
Yeah, and it's kind of every day. And so that it weighs on her a lot. So that's where I take a lot of that stuff very seriously, just because, if not for anything else, just that reason.
Yeah. You like this homesteading, lonely type of lifestyle? Would you call it lonely, or would you call it isolated?
I mean, I wouldn't call it lonely, no. And I have lots of people I connect, lots of friends, whether it's real friends that I have in town that I still connect with, or it's, friends that I have, in different parts of the country.
Online helps.
Yeah, like that helps. It makes such a difference in terms of just even like the homesteading world. It's just an amazing community of folks. And some of those relationships I have, I absolutely cherish. I mean, just last couple of days, the reason I'm down here in this neck of the woods is I'm just out visiting friends. And that to me has been awesome. And I've missed that. So there is that for sure. So I wouldn't want to overplay it as loneliness, but if you look at my day to day, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty solo.
If you're into homesteading, it does end up being, it can be lonely because you're at home, you're out in rural. So was this an acceptable lifestyle for you as you got into this? I imagine you haven't been doing this your whole life. I only imagine that because most people I talk to haven't. Was that part of the draw, that part of the lifestyle, or was it a sacrifice for the lifestyle?
I think it was just sort of an adjacent thing that I don't mind.
Okay.
So it wasn't it didn't draw me in. I mean, what drew me in is back to that thing I said earlier of like really believing a need in more small farmers, and really believing that what am I doing if I'm not trying to find and help be a part of a solution to a big problem, and so that's my core motivation and kind of the shift.